Good afternoon, Grar. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of 3 on 3 at 3. This episode is on inspectors, and I'm Ashley Hansen with Rockford Realty. We're joined by 3 fabulous inspectors today. If you guys could introduce yourselves.
Yes, thank you for having us, Ashley, and members of GRAR. My name is Joshua Locker with Locker Inspection Services. It is a pleasure to be here today.
Thanks for having me. My name is Chuck Carpenter. I'm with Essential Home Inspection.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm John Wade with JW Inspection Services of Michigan. We appreciate being here today. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys. So as you guys know, the last year or so, it's been quite an interesting time for those of us writing deals and putting them together and trying to get inspections. I'm sure you've all seen that too. So the task force has put together some great questions for us, and we want to just have your take on it. So first off, can you explain to us what the home inspector is responsible for?
We are, I'll take.
You want to take that?
I'll take it, guys.
Hey, I'll take it.
As a home inspector, our job is to go into the home, do the very best, most honest inspection we can possibly do, and explain what the customer, everything about the home that the customer needs to see or wants to see. That is, from the roof all the way on down to the foundation. It can be a very difficult job because you got to explain them properly, but also explain them to a customer so that they understand them and don't scare the daylights out of them. It's something that we as all inspectors struggle with, but it's something that we all struggle and try our best to handle in the best way we can possibly do it.
Absolutely. And if I may, Ashley, add to that, and I love that with John, is getting to there, with communication. I think it is so important and crucial in such a high stress, environment to have proper communication in our industry, right? And in my professional opinion, and I'm sure these gentlemen agree with me, it's all about relaying the information in a helpful yet supportive manner, by which we're providing a completely unbiased and extremely thorough inspection report. So, having a very qualified and certified and, more importantly, thorough inspector can mean the big difference between a good house and a bad one.
Absolutely. I like to see ourselves as a guide or a coach, that can help move people through a process in an unbiased way.
I think that's a great point. Another question that came up is if you guys can speak on how the inspection industry is regulated.
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you what, I wish it was much tougher than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do. I am pushing for every one of my inspectors to be ASHI certified. We have 3 of us who are ASHI certified right now. They're all certified through NACHI. NACHI is a great certification, but I do believe in taking the National Home Inspector's exam.
Mm-hmm.
I have strong beliefs in that. That's not an easy exam for an inspector. One of the difficult things of today is with a new inspector is they go out and they take a class for 1 week and they come back an inspector. That is very difficult to say you're certified as an inspector. But these classes, they say you are certified, and I do not believe you are. I think it takes anywhere from 4 to 6 months of training to truly become an inspector.
Absolutely.
And that's just the start. It's just a start. I mean, to really become a great inspector, it takes you 5 years. 5 years of just continuous home inspections.
Not a part-time gig, right?
Full time. It's tough.
Absolutely.
A lot of learning.
And we all know, right? A lot of people, especially, even real estate industry professionals and clients, do not know the fact that Michigan is one of the only states in the United States that does not require home inspectors to be licensed or certified. Right? I mean, that's incredible. I mean, like you said, training should be rigorous. I mean, they base their one of the biggest investments of their life off of that, kind of what we say, right? I mean,
So just out of a personal life lesson that that we learned when we started, 2010, something like that. We did it. So we took the training, got certified, and then we started out and started doing home inspections, and then very quickly we learned how much we actually didn't know.
right.
And I would say after getting beaten up going through the woods and everything like that for about 200 inspections then after that. So, as far as, inspectors getting out there and having experience and having, 6 months where, they're, right next to another inspector, learning about all the things that are important, it's essential. So,
We have several customers who ask us, "Are you guys all licensed builders?" No, we're not all licensed builders.
Right.
3 of my inspectors are licensed builders, and when each one of these inspectors came to work for us, they thought they knew everything. I'm a licensed builder.
Oh,
I've been
yes.
building homes for 20 years. And
Uh,
so we still put them through the same training that we put every inspector through. It was 4 to 6 months. And it's amazing what they find they truly learn from a builder to an inspector. I tell people all the time that we're not just builders, we are professional problem finders. And that's what we do. We search for different problems inside houses. It's a big difference, truly is.
mhm.
Question that I just was thinking of is, as you're all speaking on the certifications that your companies hold for your inspectors or that you require, is there a resource for our realtors to research the inspectors that they're choosing to ensure that they are choosing or suggesting for their clients good resources, good guides for those home inspections so that they're not just finding a run of the mill inspector that took the test and is a newbie that doesn't have the the correct certifications that might be the best tool and a resource for them to be using.
Absolutely. So, as John previously mentioned, they're all certified by either INTERNACHI or ASHI. Now, INTERNACHI stands for International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. You can go to their website and you can actually search for certified inspectors, and there'll be a long list of inspectors that will come up. Their name, their certification number, their badge, what areas they specify in and or specialize in. And you can do the same thing with ASHI, I believe, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, you can.
Perfect. Yeah, we're in ASHI and INTERNACHI, we're all certified by Locker Inspection Services employees by INTERNACHI, but both companies are fantastic, and ASHI's been around for a very long time. So, hence JW as well, if I'm not mistaken. You guys are the
We've been
the
around
big
a long
boys.
time. We've
Yes.
been around a long time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even because we've been around a long time, we have to stay on top of everything we do that much more.
Absolutely.
And that's with every one of our inspectors. And one of the positive is about having such a large group, if we have continuous meetings, continuously helping each other as inspectors. We run into different issues every day out there. And as you guys know, as inspectors, you run into different things that you've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the great things that we have is you can text out to 8 different inspectors, and someone's going to give you an answer on what they see. And it's important. It's important for all of us to do that. I still have another inspector in this state, in West Michigan, that I text out to. And it's important that we all help each other because there's
Yes.
different things that we find all the time.
And I thank you for bringing that up again, John, because I think it's so crucial. One, that we're having this meeting with Ashley and all of our real estate industry professionals that are tuning in. The fact that we can have that professional courtesy between all of us, and help one another and work together.
Absolutely.
I think that is fabulous. So thank you for touching on that, because that is huge, right? We're all in this together.
Absolutely. I have no problem with talking to any other inspectors.
Same here.
To further answer your question, how do people actually find, so yes, you want to find someone that's certified, so either ASHI or INTERNACHI or anything like that. You can find that on, what is it, ASHI.org,
Mm-hmm.
ASHI.org, or NACHI.org. You can find that. And so that way, that people actually took the proper training. In addition to that, one, ask your peers, on, what home inspector, has worked well for them. That's probably going to be a very good resource for you. Another thing, look at Google reviews.
Oh.
That's a great resource, as far as that goes. Because there has to be, a lot of customers that actually come and give good feedback and everything like that too.
Absolutely.
Um, as far as your responsibilities as a home inspector, we know that you spend several hours in the home going through it in great detail. I always tell my clients they're going to strip it down and tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're probably going to focus on the ugly, but we're going to get through it, right? So beyond the home inspection, does the inspector have any responsibility?
Yes.
Mhm.
If I may,
Go right ahead.
our biggest thing is like I previously touched on is communication, right?
Mhm.
As a professional inspection firm and locker inspection services, essential JW, right? We all are in agreement. It's the fact of we're here for our clients, not just for the inspection process, but afterwards, right? They can reach out to us for communication purposes. They can ask us questions about the report, different resources for sometimes for service industry professionals. I mean, we're here for the whole process, right? Say they had an issue with the foundation and, they want even a reinspection sometimes, right? They've had a repair
Mhm.
done. Sometimes they'd like us to come back and reevaluate or do a reinspection or something along those lines. And I mean, I've had clients reach out to me 2 years later because we had the specific interaction showing them where their main water shutoff is at the inspection, right? And sure enough, my pipe burst. What am I going to do, Josh? Where is it, right? And they're
Mhm.
calling. They're
Mhm.
calling in a frantic. I go, okay, calm down. Well, everything will be okay, And they remember that conversation. We're like, kind of. I said, look at the report. There's a photo in there, of course. But then I said, I'll bring up the report because we have it on file, and then guide them to it. And so it's just being there. I
Mhm.
mean, from day one till they sell and they buy their next house, and hopefully they use your service.
Yep. Yep. So, just always answering the phone, so when people call and have any questions or anything like that, heck, even if there's a problem, after the home inspection, be there for them, visit the home, and, help navigate through it and everything like that.
Maybe I misread the question, but I look at it as I don't care who you are as a home inspector. We're in a world where people call us back and there's issues.
Hmm.
There's always issues. And I believe it's how your home inspection company handles each and every issue and how quickly you handle each and every one will determine what type of company you have out there. We all have them. And I've always been of the belief that when you get a phone call in, a negative phone call, you have to immediately respond to that phone call
Hmm.
and respond quickly. It can't just sit one day. If it's a Saturday or Sunday, the call comes in, you have to respond and take care of the problem. And they're not all the problems that we want to take care of the way we want to do it. Sometimes we have to help our customers back in different ways. I mean, it is what it is, and that's the way the industry is. And I think to have a good company, as we all do, you have to take care of your customers in a very professional way.
Hmm.
We've kind of already gone over this, but another question that came up is if you can cover the primary components of which you inspect and review during a typical home inspection.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mind if I take
go
it?
for
Okay.
it.
Well, like John said, basically from from the roof to the foundation, honestly, so, we're checking the condition of the roof. We walk every, roof that's safe to do so. The outside, so as far as the exterior, making sure that the grading is actually good, that you're going to have decent grading away from the home. The foundation, we check the plumbing, making sure that the water heaters and functional order, making sure that it's safe, it's actually operating safely. The heating systems, the insulation, the ventilation, which is honestly something that a lot of people forget about, which is extremely important. Kitchen appliances. Technically, kitchen appliances aren't actually part of the standard operating procedures, but it's a some people decide to inspect those and everything like that. What else? What else am I missing, guys? Or did I cover it?
There's, I
Okay.
think you,
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
covered it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we get asked all the time, and I'm sure you guys do too. So, what exactly are you looking for today? It's probably the
Well.
toughest question we have because
Everything and anything.
there's thousands of things that we can come across that
course.
we would never even think about.
Yeah.
That that's what we do. We're constantly walking around looking and seeing what is here. What's on the roof. It's everywhere across the entire home, and it's an extremely difficult question to answer.
It is. And I think one of the things that kind of puts our clients at ease is that I tell them, which we do at our organization, is we follow a strict, not only code of ethics, but standards of practice laid forth by international, followed by our own, from A to Z checklist of what we go through.
Mhm.
you know, and by doing so and following those rigorous rules and our own, you know, rigorous system we have, clearly it's all proven us to
Mhm.
work well.
So, absolutely.
Consistency.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, aside from booking a standard home inspection, what do you all feel is the the most important add-on to a standard home inspection?
Go ahead, go first. You haven't.
We didn't talk about this, but I think it's going to be a unanimous answer: a sewer scope. And the pipes under the ground, or the waste pipes from the home to the street, they have been there anywhere from new construction all the way to 150 years. And the pipes can be anywhere from PVC to cast
Clay.
iron to clay that's starting to crush and go into the street, Orangeburg, which is basically cardboard. There's all sorts of things. And so your typical replacement of something like that is $8,000 on average. It's a major component of the home and should be done every time.
Yeah. And I totally agree with the sewer scopes, but two things for me, and obviously that being one of them, radon, of course, right? We all know radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America, right? And certain areas are known to have an elevated level. So we always highly recommend that. But I'd say one of the biggest ones for me is mold. So depending on the area in which your house is located, like if you're near the lake shore, right, those homes are more prone to
Hmm.
microbial growth.
Hmm.
You know, and we're an IAC2 certified mold and air quality specialist company as well as certified home inspection company. So that being said, I won't go into detail. However, I've had when I was a very young guy, I had a home I grew up with my mother in, and we had black mold because of foundation leak, and we had no idea. I was a child, and she worked, quite a lot, and she's already had a compromised immune system, and ever since we moved out of that house, she moved out of that house years later. She's had yearly pneumonia, she's had dizzy spells and breathing issues. You name it, the list goes on, and so it kind of hits home for me in a way. So because mold can affect everybody differently. There's people that can be around and live in it 24/7 and they're fine. And then there's people that it can seriously affect their health, and I mean, that's what we're here for at the end of the day, right? To protect our clients, make sure they're making not only a good investment, but to ensure their health and safety, and by doing so, if the situation calls for it, mold is a big one for
I agree with what you guys are saying, but I think that every home needs to be looked at slightly differently.
us. Absolutely.
Every home, every area needs to be looked at differently. In some areas, I believe that radon is the number one thing you should look at. In other homes, I believe that sewer scopes are the number one thing you should look at. But then when you get into homes that are maybe built in later and earlier years, you should be looking at chimney scopes.
Mm.
You should be looking at these chimneys. These chimneys out there are unbelievably costly to repair. And there's so many of them out there that have not been built properly. And they're having problems today. You look at all the fires that are happening inside houses today. You try to actually pick up the phone and call a chimney company. You can't contact them. Chimneys are just one of those inspections. We may be one of the only ones in Michigan who do that, where we run cameras up and down chimneys to look at them.
Telescopic lens.
We do all of that. But but not every home is that important to do a chimney. Sewer scopes are probably one of the biggest ones. Sewer scopes, it's amazing what we're finding out there. Whether it's a PVC line, a clay line, a cast line, it's unbelievable the amount of problems. Air quality testing, or if you call it mold testing, is extremely important, and that depends on the customer. Depends on some customers have serious allergy problems, and I often tell these customers, really the best thing to do is check both homes. Check the home that you're actually selling and check the home that you're actually buying, because that's going to tell you a lot. The one that you're actually selling might be worse than the one that you're buying. Depending on what you're allergic to and not allergic to, it's very hard to determine what's going to be safe for you and your customer. So I think we all agree with the same stuff, but we all agree with it in a little bit different way.
Situational. Right?
Yep.
really good points and things for everyone to consider when they're booking their home inspections. When you're doing a home inspection, what is the most um, common thing or an average thing that a homeowner doesn't know that you come across?
You know, we'll probably all be pretty much even on this one too. You know, there's just so many ways to look at this. One of the things we know for sure is that homeowners all want to be their own builder, and they don't build decks well.
HGTV.
Decks are done horribly.
Flips, yeah.
Flips are interesting.
Dave, true. That's
Roofs.
the way to put it. Yeah.
Until you get on a roof and walk a roof, or we walk them and we fly them with drones. Until you do that, you can't see downwards to see what the problems are. So
Right.
when so many homeowners walk up to a house and they look at the roof and say, "Oh my God, it's in great shape," and then we get on it and say, "Well, you know, you really only have a few years of life
Yeah,
left."
always looks great.
And
Yeah, right.
they-
From below.
those are probably the two biggest things. I mean, we have dryer vents that are a serious problem that they're
plastic.
they're using plastic to vent them, which is causing fires. I mean, we can go on and talk about a lot of them, but that would be my opinion of the few different things that homeowners
Major
just
things that you
yeah,
run
those are the
across.
majors.
Mhm.
Yes, safety issues. True.
Absolutely, and things that a homeowner wouldn't normally see, like a homeowner isn't going to take the furnace cabinet, the cover plate off and look inside, or an electrical panel for that matter, or get in an attic, right? How many? I mean, maybe some people if they want to add more additional insulation or what have you,
Right.
but attic. My goodness, how many attics have we been in? And the roof even looks, from the ground okay, and you get in the attic and you've got damaged roof decking, you've got broken trusses, you've got mold, I mean, oh my goodness.
Why they put a brand new roof on a house and the roofers never go and look inside the attic?
Never.
Yes.
Never.
What
Happens
is
all the
that?
time.
I don't understand that.
Happens all the time.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
blows my mind.
Another big one, if I may,
Yeah, please.
is older home, maybe before 1960, has three-prong receptacles, and it doesn't have a grounded electrical system in the home. And so, one, that needs to be identified, but then also the client also needs a coach, that actually explains, what their options are and why why it's not right and everything like that. So, yeah, that's probably one that we see a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording today, but we have seen a lot of offers going through waiving inspections. So I can bet I know how you guys feel about that. Um, and how has that changed your business as far as offering pre-inspections versus full inspections? And how did you guys get creative during this time?
Well, I'll start with that one,
Mhm.
gentlemen, because I know we all have our our own take on that. We all have to adapt to current market trends, right? And just every day-to-day life. That being said, we personally, Locker Inspection Services, did very few. Now, I have nothing against them whatsoever, but it's not the full spectrum view, and obviously, all clients are made well of that. And we would like to give a full certified home inspection, but that's just not physically possible with the time that's allotted, right? So that being said, one of the methods in which that we kind of counteracted the market is, I mean, we've always kind of been a one-stop shop, if you will, and a lot of these gentlemen as well offer multiple different ancillary services, right? But doing well and septic, pool and spa, right? Obviously, termite and radon, mold, doing lawn irrigation inspections, things of that nature. So, we do a little bit of everything, so that kind of helps us weather the storm, if you will, you know. But we're seeing a trend currently going back to inspections, which we're all very thankful for. And it's one of those things that I hope it continues because every client deserves a full certified home inspection. Just my
Absolutely agree. When we look at a home, we look at it in a holistic way. When we're doing a pre-offer inspection, we're just looking at the major systems. We're not getting that picture. We're not getting that picture. We're not going through the home inch by inch, row by row, in a systematic way. And so there's going to be gaps in that picture, as far as that goes. So yes, it is better than nothing, to do a pre-offer inspection. We did quite a few. It wasn't necessarily a primary focus, but when that's what people are buying, well, that's what we're selling. And so one thing that we did is we went a little bit more broad and wide, as far as our services, bringing in sewer scopes, other ancillaries and everything like that. So we would always recommend doing a full home inspection, afterwards and everything like that. Another thing that we did is we started doing seller's inspections, kind of like a pre-market inspection, where, the seller would actually know, what was inside of a home, and then they could actually post that, that report online, to share with prospective buyers and everything like that. When the only option they had was to waive their inspection, at least they would have something.
Agree with both you guys. We probably followed more in your direction. We got very big into doing a lot of pre-inspections, but pre-inspections had to be done in a proper way so that everybody involved knew exactly what was happening before we stepped onto the property. That was something that was very important. Another thing that we did as a company is we expanded. We expanded to multiple areas. We went to different areas that we were not in, and that helped us grow the business more. We pushed very hard and started expanding through Detroit area and also through Kalamazoo, Battle Creek area. We do a lot of sewer scopes. That's a very big one. And another one that we went into was we added and we went to chimneys. Chimneys are a very important part of a home inspection. So I guess we just tried to do everything we could as a company to help our customers as much as we possibly can. And I think we all did that. We all did it in a little bit different way. And I think it's worked out well for all of us. It's obviously, it's difficult when people are canceling inspections, but we got to do what we have to do to keep our business alive. And that's what we've all done. And I think it's worked out well for all of us. We're very happy with the way JW has gone. With the business being as down as it is for home inspectors, I think we're all doing very, very well.
Yes.
And we did not have to let go of any home inspectors. Every home inspector is still working and still very busy. So,
Very thankful.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic. And one last question. Is there any new trends that you're seeing in today's market?
Well, we touched on it briefly, right? Yes, we are seeing more inspections. Just actually, what, last month? And we were just talking about that. And I think that just, just as a professional business owner, standpoint, I had kind of a little sigh of relief. But, just for our clients' sake, so they don't have to go in so blind. I mean, that is the biggest thing. And we're here for our clients. Number one, first and foremost. I mean, customer service is at the forefront. I know for all of us in our companies, and obviously providing great service. But yes, uptick in inspections again. It's so exciting to see. Also, it may touch as our great West Michigan area and Grand Rapids City grows. Out-of-state buyers, lots of those. I'm sure we've all seen that. As we were just previously talking about, also last year we had over 60% of our business was out-of-state buyers. If that says anything. So West Michigan natives, and if you're new here, welcome. Welcome for let's see some more growth coming to our city. So, gentlemen,
You know what? There is something else. There's actually a few different things that are happening, but one of the big things that is happening is, as a company, you have to be able to do a home inspection now in anywhere between 2 and 5 days. The trend of you have 10 days to get this inspection and that's over with. And I shouldn't say it's over with. That's 10 days is very rare anymore. It's very rare. And so we have to, as a company, get inspections in 2 to 5 days, and we're doing that. It's very rare that we don't, and that's probably one of the reasons why we stay as busy as we are, is because we're able to react very quickly to our customers' needs. Weekend inspections, it's something that nobody wants to do, but it's something that we all have to do. There's other things coming up that I won't discuss today, but there's some great things that are happening in the industry, and we as a company try to stay on top of every one of those new and innovative ways of growing our business more and more.
Absolutely. And thank you for touching on that again, John. The shortened inspection periods, we all accommodate that. We know that. Yes, that is so massive, and with offering things like a 72-hour guarantee or 2 to 5 day guarantee, that's so huge. And we're proud that we as business owners can offer that to our clients. How else are you going to get an offer?
It's pretty tough. You need to have a good time frame.
Right.
I bet.
Also, another thing, online scheduling.
Oh,
So that way when that offer gets accepted, and your client or your buyer finds out at 11 p.m. That at midnight you can actually log into the website and place a full services order with absolutely everything. Might be a couple little hiccups in the order and everything like that, but they can do that. Also, just another trend that I've seen. This really has to do with the change in the PA, but as far as the responsibility of who's actually responsible for the well and septic. So I've seen a lot more buyers actually requesting that versus it being more of a seller's responsibility.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Recently changed, right, with Fry?
It changed
So-
as of the new 2022 purchase agreement.
With the shortened inspection period, just always keep in mind that if we do a 3-day inspection period, it may or may not be really difficult to get a radon test completed. So just keep that in mind for your clients.
Well, if you do, you got to get them dropped off that
Right.
first day.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll be right out.
Yes.
Yeah, there's difficulties that follow with that too.
That's true. That's true. But we're seeing more of that as well. Can you do an
Yes.
early radon drop off?
Yes,
And
we
we
do
do
too.
everything in our power to accommodate that.
Yeah, that makes it easy for us too. Yeah.
Right, and then you can pick it. That is kind of nice, I will say. Finishing the inspection and there's my radon detector.
Mhm.
Take it with you.
Yep.
That is the one.
Perfect. Well, we hope that you all learned something new today about inspections. We had a fabulous panel. Thank you, John, Chuck, and Josh. And that wraps up August 3 on 3 at 3.